Warcraft's Mightiest Hunter with Platinum WoW. He does a lot of make really good WoW videos. Take a look. Vanilla WoW.
Let the hunt begin.
Oh, Rexar. Rexar was really cool when you first ran into him in Warcraft 3.
Now then, time to carve a trophy. I was born on Draenor. As war broke out around us, my people, the Mok'Nathal, remained peaceful and unprepared.
The war on Draenor had destroyed the resources on this now dying world. The Mok'Nathal, a once enslaved clan of half-ogres, half-orcs, were led by Leorox, father of Rexar, who insisted that the clan remain quiet pacifists in these conflicts. And yet, with each passing day, the hunt for resources became even more scarce. Rexar strongly believed that they'd need to join the Horde in order to survive, despite the protests of his father.
The Horde is mighty. They could crush us at any moment, just like they crushed the Draenei. Not if we are quiet. The land sustains us. The beasts answer us. The mountains hide us. That is protection enough.
Oh, is this like prior to the Dark Portal? Like when the Legion was basically infected?
What more do you want? The rise of the Horde changes everything. We must take a side. We are half ogre, half orc. Outsiders will never accept us. Our clan is too small. Our allies too few. I have proved my point. You have proved you do not belong here. Leave me. That does it. I fear you are going down a dark path, my son.
I know he becomes friends with like Thrall and stuff.
Thanks. I was banished from my only home. Unable to convince my clan to act, I would have to confront the Horde by myself.
The Horde's current leader was the war chief named Blackhand. He was a fierce leader, and his clan had gained a reputation for their strict military discipline. Blackhand rose to power with the help from a powerful warlock named Gul'dan. Look, also, there are two different versions of Blackhand. The main universe one, which doesn't have a unique model, and the alternate universe one. For this video, I'm going to be using the alternate universe one.
Why?
For no other reason
cooler?
other than it's badass. Look, the point is, Blackhand was now the leader of the Horde and is currently wiping out any and all ogres in Gorgrond, with his sights on the Mok'Nathal next.
Yeah. That place was okay to level. It was good at leveling too.
War Chief Blackhand, may I have a word? You are one of the Mok'Nathal, aren't you? Yes. It is on their behalf I come to you. You're only a half-orc, unworthy of my attention. I could destroy your clan in a heartbeat. You must spare them. Ha! All's fair in war, boy. The orcs have sacrificed much. I know you have, but my people could not endure that. Power is the only law that all must obey. Defeat me,
What's he doing
I'll
with like his neck?
consider
That's
your
weird.
request. Then we fight. For the Horde!
Oh, I think Rexar was within,
That's all you can muster!
but
If only your wisdom were as great as your temper. Always aim for the face. Cease this. You've persuaded me. You fight well for your kind. I have need of champions like you. But in return, you must serve the Horde. I swear it.
And so, Rexar joined the Horde and charged into the Dark Portal, where the orcs would claim the resources they'd need to survive in the new world of Azeroth. During the First War, the orcs dominated the battle.
well, that wasn't like resources, literally just to take over the world. Like they wanted Azeroth. It wasn't to bring things back.
And pushed
I mean, I guess to a degree, yeah, but like I think the main purpose was to take over.
all the way up north and destroyed the city of Stormwind. This marked the end of the First War. During the Second War, they continued to push up into the Eastern Kingdoms, even though they had pretty much everything they would need to survive, and this was when Rexar began to realize the truth behind the Horde. It was a faction ran by bloodlust, controlled from a secret cabal of warlocks, and no care for the prosperity of their people. This would be further evident when Gul'dan totally abandoned the Horde for his own pursuit for power, and the unification of human and elven kingdoms pushed the orcs all the way down back to the Dark Portal. Our story then continues in the book Beyond the Dark Portal, where Rexar would face the deceit of the Horde firsthand when defending the portal from the Alliance. During the battle, an injured warlock attempted to drain the life from Rexar, telling him that he was not a true orc and undeserving of having a place in the Horde. I will now quote the book directly.
Does it hurt? Do not worry. Soon the pain will be gone.
He raised his hand, slowly, deliberately drawing the moment out, and Rexar stared as the green-lined flesh inched closer. Already, he thought he could feel his energy being drawn from him, and a wave of fatigue washed over him. A fierce snarl cut through the haze of torment, and a large black blur slammed into the warlock. Haritha, no! With the warlock's distraction, the spell broke, and Rexar could move again. But he was too late. His devoted wolf companion had shoved the warlock away, but in the process, the orc's hand had touched Haritha's thick pelt. Rexar stared, horrified, as his friend shriveled before his eyes, the powerful wolf shrinking in upon himself in an instant, and then collapsing, his body turning into dust the wind carried away.
Jeez.
That feels better.
The warlock remarked, rising to his feet and brushing off his robes. The blood stain remained, but now he moved without injury.
Your pet just saved your life.
He told Rexar with a nasty grin. Yes, he did, Rexar replied softly, twirling both axes up and around. But who will save yours? Rexar stared at his body, panting, then turned to look at the spot where his wolf had died. The rage still roaring through him and thundering in his ears, he knelt and placed his hand, wet with the warlock's blood, on the dust for a moment. You are avenged, my friend, he said softly. And then the Dark Portal blew up. Now Rexar and the Warsong clan were left stranded on Azeroth with no way of going back home. They retreated back to their encampment called Stonard to regroup and tend to their wounds. While they were recovering, Chieftain Gromosh Hellscream explained that they would be preparing once again for war. Rexar cut in, asking, why? As far as they knew, they were the only remnants of the Horde left, and now they were totally abandoned on this new world. They had been betrayed and
question.
used by their leaders time and time again, and their homeworld might be totally destroyed. They were fighting on
Like, we're in this world that's completely hostile to us, hates our guts because of the fighting. So you want to... And we lost the war, obviously. And then with a much smaller group, you want to continue the war.
Azeroth to secure a new land to live for their people. But now it was just them, and fighting for their people was the whole purpose of this war, right? Look, the best course of action would be to find a secluded place to live where they would never have to spill a single drop of blood again. At this point, Rexxar was starting to sound like his father, who also demanded a peaceful course of action.
Yeah, but to be fair, with Rexxar's dad, I mean, that was long-term not a good idea. Like, they'd eventually die out, because it was a dying world, so...
But Rexxar was seen as being absolutely ridiculous. Instead of continuing to fight with these dishonorable orcs who just kept clinging to blatant lies for hope, Rexxar would become an outcast once again, wandering the wilds by himself with only the beasts that could be trusted.
Well, it's also because they were poisoned, right? They had like Manarot's blood, so it's like they couldn't really stop killing, from my understanding.
Rexxar traveled across the world of Azeroth. He somehow found himself on Kalimdor. How he traveled to a different continent on the other side of the world is never explained. Did he catch a boat? Maybe he's really good at swimming, or did he befriend a dolphin? Who knows? Anyways, he's here now, and while Rexxar is exploring this strange new land,
Yeah, I guess it would make more sense if he was like in Stranglethorn Vale.
let's talk about the sponsor who helped make large-scale videos like this possible. Displate. Displates are high-quality metal posters that you can collect and bring a slice of Azeroth into your home. They have a wide variety of unique Warcraft-themed plates that you can mix and match on your wall with Displate's easily installable magnet mounting system that requires no drilling, just wipe, sticker, magnet, and then you're ready to go. With Displates, you have the strength to bring the might of the Lich King into your home.
Ravage the living minions.
Yeah,
To the
that's pretty
tranquility of the Moonwell. But really, there's something for every Warcraft fan and their wide selection. Not only that, Displate also has 1 million officially licensed designs to choose from their nearly limitless library, all of which are printed in the EU and signed by hand by the master of production to ensure their quality. Ditch your basic standard prints and start collecting your passions, and visit my link down below and you'll get an automatic discount on your new Displates on checkout. Thank you to Displate for sponsoring this video. Back to the story of Rexxar.
Fell before it and fell away. Or no, this is the Night Elf place, right? Sorry.
What a magnificent beast! You are the first civilized being I've met for a long while. You fight because you are scared. I am the same. We ought to be friends. I have no others.
Those emotes. It's just weird.
I knew you'd come around. I will look after you now. Neither of us has to be alone anymore.
Rexxar traveled the untamed wilds with his new companion Misha. But his bear best friend wasn't the only animal Rexxar had befriended. His owl Spirit, his boar Huffer, and his wyvern Lerock joined him in his travels in his many years of solitude. And yet, the savagery of civilization always seemed to find him.
With Misha at my side, we journeyed through the Kalimdor wilds. I was careful to always avoid the cities, until one day, I had no choice. What is that commotion? A battle?
Come, you Quillbore mongrels, taste the steel of Mogren's axe!
Hold fast, stranger. You shall not stand alone.
They came out of nowhere!
You are badly hurt. Let me handle the rest of them. Nothing like a thrill of the hunt.
I mean, he's not some freaking ogres. Like, you think Quillbores are gonna do anything?
This would be a good death, if not for my failure.
Failure?
I was to deliver a crucial report to my chieftain. I have lost my honor.
I will deliver your message. Your honor is not lost.
Seek out
Is this the part in
city
Warcraft 3?
of
It could be. I don't know.
Orgrimmar. Find War Chief Thrall.
I mean, obviously not like what's happening here, but I'm saying like this lore part of it.
Tell him.
May the winds bear you swiftly to your ancestors, warrior.
Is he holding him in like a princess carry? Like, what the heck?
Upon entering Orgrimmar, Rexxar realized this horde was not the one he once knew. The hunter had been living in solitude for 20-some-odd years, and in that time, the horde had changed drastically. No longer were they the bloodthirsty warmongers Rexxar had detested. Now the horde only longed for peace and to atone for their past sins. I mean, they literally built their city in a barely inhabitable desert as to not antagonize the Night Elves nearby, and to punish themselves for their past crimes.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that. I figured it was like the only place they could build without like starting a war right away with no defenses.
A message for you, War Chief. Mogren entrusted me with it before he passed.
I see. You have done us a great...
Stop. Okay, a lot of the voice lines I'm using come from the Book of Heroes Hearthstone Adventure, and for some reason, somehow, Thrall is not voiced by Chris Metzen, which is actually sacrilege since he's the creator of the Warcraft universe and Thrall is his most iconic role, along with Varian, Ragnaros, Nefarian, Zul'jin, Hakar, Scarlet Commander Mograine, Sand Fury Executioner, and Rexxar.
I don't know
Warcraft
about
3.
Sand Fury
You'd think that they could get him in the studio and read a couple of lines since he was able to during Shadowlands when he wasn't working at Blizzard, but now I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. Back to the video.
Please, accept our hospitality here in Durotar.
Only if you'll let me carry my own weight.
At this point in our story, it follows the events of the Warcraft 3
Warcraft
game,
3.
which means that the story becomes kind of gamey. And Rexxar does a lot of chores around Durotar. He completes these tasks with his appointed guide named Rokan, and he kills thunder lizards, some harpies, and he meets Chen Stormstout, which is pretty much a joke character. A joke character that would then have an entire expansion built around him a decade later. The letter Mogren had was...
Yeah, I remember when Miss Pandaria was announced and stuff, like, me and my friends who played WoW were like, why? What the heck, like, really? I mean, it was kind of cool, like, oh yeah, because Warcraft 3 had that panda, but at the same time it was always like, that's weird.
Was warning the war chief that there was a large number of humans forming to the south near Theramore. This was strange since after the previous war, there was an established peace treaty between the Horde and the Alliance.
This is Jaina's dad, I think.
Later, Thrall would get a request from the humans to have a meeting in the middle of nowhere, at night, alone. Obviously, this is suspicious, and Rexxar goes in his place and gets ambushed by humans and he kills them all. Okay, now here's a problem. These soldiers are supposed to be led by Thrall's close friend, Jaina, who also desired peace as much as he did. And yet, she had no idea who is giving her soldiers these orders. Together, Jaina and Rexxar would investigate and find out who was behind these attacks.
Our future peace hinges on what we find here.
Peace is always fragile.
We aren't so different. I think our people want the same things. I hope you trust me.
Thrall does. That should be enough.
Surface dwellers are so
Oh, the
strange.
Naga. That's right.
Your petty disagreements mean nothing to me. We controlled the world once, and we shall again.
I kind of wish they had an expansion more focused on the Naga than they did the pandas.
The Naga destroyed our camp.
A human and a half-orc work together? What nonsense. We will reclaim our land.
Shut up!
I
The
was
Naga
not
are
expecting that.
gone. But
That's
who
funny.
were the humans attacking us?
I recognize that footman. I think I know what happened here.
Peace is like a dream. Beautiful, ephemeral, unobtainable. The Horde killed my son, my flesh and blood. I will never forgive them. A pity my daughter did not inherit my keen judge of character. Ah, Jaina. I found you at last.
Father, I knew this
looks
was
like a
your
villain.
doing. You have to understand. The Horde is no longer our enemy.
So naive, my dear. Step aside. You will never know what it is to defend your home, your loved ones. You abandoned your world to destroy ours.
Shut up!
An extermination is in order.
Rexxar, run!
Savages! Atone for what you did in Stormwind, in Lordaeron!
A duck walked into an apothecary and he said, "Give me some chapstick and put it on my bill."
Thanks to Jaina, I escaped. But war was upon us. And worse, we were outnumbered.
Now the Horde knew who their new enemy exactly was, and an unwanted war was clearly on the horizon. They would need to amass a large number of soldiers if they were going to be victorious in this conflict. And Rexxar helped bolster the Horde's ranks in rather unconventional ways. So what Rexxar did was he traveled to Dustwallow Marsh to defeat a tyrannical warlord of the Stonemaul
I remember
Ogres,
this.
and became
Yeah.
their new leader so he could send the ogres into battle.
Time for the meat grinder!
I think that's the name of his weapon.
Shut up!
Then he traveled over to the Barrens to help the Tauren chieftain's son, Bane Bloodhoof, who had been captured by the Centaur. Such a favor would convince the Tauren to join them in the upcoming assault.
We have never kidnapped a half-orc, half-ogre before. Do you think we are stupid?
Yes. Bane! Are you all right?
Yes, my friend. I owe everything to you. Whatever you wish, my father will grant to you.
Yeah, that... I think it was a little different in Warcraft 3, because I'm pretty sure that rescuing Bane was part of the Warcraft 3 gameplay, but like, I think that was a little bit different.
Then the armies of the
Because I'm pretty sure you do meet his dad first, and he's like, oh, my son's been kidnapped, can you go rescue him?
Horde amassed at the gates of Theramore. Of course, conflict like this was never the ideal outcome, but Admiral Proudmoore was so driven by spite and revenge that he would not stop until either he or the Horde was dead. Even his daughter Jaina knew that.
Thrall, Rexar, I just want you to know that I had no part in this.
Of course not. Still, you know what we must do.
Yes, I will leave you to it.
We must put an end to the Admiral. Only then will the Horde be safe. You are the champion of the Horde. Our victory will come through you, or not at all. Loktar Ogar! For the Horde! For Durotar!
That was a good transition.
You saved us all, Rexar. I can never repay you. Will you stay with us?
I belong in the wilds, amidst the beasts and elements of the land. But I will always be there when you need me, brother.
Even after being champion of the Horde, Rexar still longed for the solitude of the wilds and returned to the nature of Kalimdor.
He's like
When
a
we
true
find him
hunter.
again is in classic World of Warcraft, where he's wandering around Desolace and is a part of the Onyxia quest chain.
Yeah, I always thought this Rexar was a bit lame, but Misha was like freaking crazy.
Which then became non-canon as per the Warcraft comic. Then in the Burning Crusade, he traveled back to Draenor, where his homeworld was now twisted by magic and called the Outlands. Miraculously, the Mok'Nathal clan had survived this radical change in environment, and Rexar helped his clan by defeating the ogres nearby and their Grand Master, with help from Sablian, an uncorrupted black dragon in the zone who hated ogres as much as he did. The Mok'Nathal clan was
Wait, there was another uncorrupted black dragon? I thought that was just Rathion. What the heck?
appreciative of Rexar's help
Who
in
is-
defeating their
who is that
enemy,
guy?
except for his father Learok, who still held resentment for his son for deserting them like 30 years ago. Rexar would then have minor appearances in the Legion
Yeah, this Rexar is the cool one.
and Battle for Azeroth expansions, where he suffers the same fate many Warcraft characters do. He's in the story and he's a character players interact with, but his own personal story really isn't progressed at all, and he's more just used as a familiar face and a tool to progress the story that
Yeah.
doesn't really involve him personally. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, just a consequence of Warcraft's method of storytelling and a ridiculous amount of characters they have to juggle. The question is now, will we see Rexar again? Rexar is one of the core
I mean, he's not dead. And the thing is, he doesn't really have much to do with dragons, so if maybe there was an expansion on ogres, then maybe?
characters of Warcraft who has existed for 21 years. Despite this, his story hasn't really progressed much compared to
Nope.
other legacy characters from Warcraft 3, but Rexar has one of the most underrated stories of a badass hunter who was outcasted from society, fought through numerous historical events, and became a legend in the Warcraft universe.
That was a good video.
Hey, real quick, if you enjoyed this video, consider checking out Display. Their support helps a lot when making these videos, and if you liked the video, a like and subscribe.
Shut up!
That was a really good video. Warcraft's Mightiest Hunter. That was a lot of fun. I've always liked Rexar, and it's especially say if you've played like Warcraft 3, like he's a staple. Like I don't know, I wish they did more with him. He's a really cool character.